Let me be honest, folks, it's looking pretty bad here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The worst I've seen in quite a few months. Starting to compare it to what we saw at some points last year. I'm not sure if it's just something that's just temporary or something super local, but not only was Walmart impacted pretty severely, but also over at Aldi, just a little bit across the street. Even Sam's Club seemed to be impacted. Looks like they're not getting their shipments or what, but we definitely had a serious issue with pasta, cream cheese. We're going to get into the pictures. You're going to be able to see it for yourself. Let us know if you guys are seeing similar things out there. Let's jump into the pictures. Today here at Aldi, and the salad dressings were a bit low, but that's not really where we're going to be seeing the major issues. First off here, if you'll notice here, three sections of cream cheese here, all missing. The block Nufata cheese, the block cream cheese, and one of the spreads. So there was this this Philadelphia option still here, but all the generic cream cheese is gone at Aldi. If that doesn't kind of raise your eyebrows a little bit, I don't know what will, but wait until you see what's going on with pasta. We have the sugar here, powdered sugar, you know, some of the more specialized sugars being a bit more of an issue. There was a sale going on for ramen noodles. So if you're looking for something to stock up on that's just cheap, empty calories, ramen noodle is pretty good for that. Or if you get like teenagers in the home, or if you're just looking for something that you can like give away to other people who might need food, that's an option there too. But when you start looking here at the pasta section here, so there's some lasagna left, but when you're looking for spaghetti or a lot of the other kinds of pasta, just nothing left. Where did it all go? Where did it all go? And when we see over at Walmart, it's way worse than even what you're seeing here at Aldi. We are seeing that the harvest over in Spain has been really bad on olives, and so olive oil is going to be even worse this coming year. So expect to see shortages and extreme price changes out there. So brace yourselves for that. If you use a lot of olive oil, either find a supply or get stocked up or whatever. Bottled water, having some issues. You don't see them quite as much here at Aldi, but when we get over to Walmart, you're going to see a good bit more. Turkeys. Now, it's hard to say with sales and just shipping and everything like that, but noticing that the turkey bin kind of empty at Aldi. So, and I didn't really see a big sale that seemed to indicate why that might be that big shortage. A number of different frozen items out of place. Most of the issues that we're seeing out there are not frozen items. We're going to be seeing more issues with dairy, like fresh stuff, and then canned goods, canned and pasta. So, but there's some issues kind of with the frozen stuff too here and there. I want to take a quick gander at the canning jar section. And there was good availability. There were a couple items that were kind of out of stock, but generally speaking, you can get canning jars. And if you're looking to stock up for the long term on a bunch of different things, canning jars are pretty critical for that. If you're going to be gardening yourself and you're planning on stepping that up pretty significantly so that you can not just feed yourself for like a couple months out of the year, but you're looking at feeding yourselves all year long, that's when you're really going to need to get into the canning jars. And they don't go bad. You don't go bad with canning jars. They don't expire. You can continue to reuse them. You're going to need new lids, maybe new bands if you don't do a good job with that. But usually you end up with more bands than what you need. So mostly you need lids and you need the jars themselves, and you need lots of spares for the lids. But as you can see, they're pretty well stocked there at Walmart. Dry cat food looking fairly good. A couple of canned cat foods here and there that were out of stock or whatever, but generally speaking, as long as your cat's not super picky, there's plenty of good options. But then over here, there were a couple bays that were open with dry cat food that were not fully stocked. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement accounts that you want to get kind of put in order, Jonathan and his team do a fantastic job. So If you do call them directly, do make sure that you mention this channel. That way they will waive the setup fee. Some of you guys out there were talking about toilet paper issues and not seeing toilet paper and toilet paper going into shortage. I did a quick gander around and I didn't really see too much issues with toilet paper. Seemed to be fairly well stocked, at least here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We'll keep our ear to the ground on that. If you are experiencing issues out there, continue to let us know. If you're seeing anything on your store shelves that you think needs to be kind of shared out there, use the word update on any comment on this channel and that'll get it to the right place. Give us some sort of geographical description as well. Appreciate all you guys chiming in. So looking at this water aisle, you can see things looking a little different. Just last week I was at Sam's Club and I was trying to get some bottled water. Didn't have any. It was kind of eye-opening. So I don't know if we're just kind of seeing the residual from that, but you know, a bunch of the bays just empty here at Walmart, and even the gallon jugs, a lot of those just empty. And the ones that are still on the shelf, notice how many of them are smashed. The bottle cap is smashed down into it. Eggs, we are seeing egg prices going up. We're seeing like $1.90 in this area, in Pittsburgh area. I know some of you guys are seeing that that big increase in price. Availability is still sounding pretty good in most places. A couple of you have mentioned spotty outages of eggs, but so far it's just been price increases, not any supply issues just yet. But we may see that again. We just had 2.9 million chickens, egg-laying chickens, put down. And all the eggs that came from them recently are going to be smashed too. So that should mean some more egg issues coming forward. We'll keep our eye on that to see if we get some more big cullings. If we do, that's when we're going to have to start getting into panic mode there. But it might be prudent to stock up a little bit now on eggs. Prices will be going up a little bit further for sure, but then availability may start to be an issue, especially if we get any more cullings over the next month or so. With the breading, with the doughs and all that kind of stuff like that, it just looked a little bit low, so I grabbed a picture of it. Some of the creamers, not quite fully stocked. I don't know if that's half and half back there, generic half and half, but some of the creamers, we've been kind of seeing this kind of thing, but this is a little worse than what we're used to seeing. So, and then they still can't seem to keep those gallon jugs of tea and juices and stuff like that on the shelves. Lots of big issues with the orange juice, of course, because the oranges had really bad harvest season this past year due to the storms and the late frost. Notice the cream cheese here. Block cream cheese, very low compared to where it should be. Tubs are still looking pretty healthy there. So there's a better picture of the cream cheese name brand being spread out all over the place. But the generic stuff, just very little there. I had to crawl into the back there to get some in the back there. Not looking good on the cream cheese front. That situation is getting worse by the week. So if you're looking for cream cheese for any of your cooking for holidays and stuff like that, you might want to grab it when you see it. All right, sour creams, ricotta cheese, you know, all that kind of stuff like that. A little low, but not anything super bad. Milk in general, just not fully stocked. Whether they're just running inventory really tight or what, but just not as much milk there as we would be used to be seeing. Seeing the margarines, the synthetic margarines were low. Again, like the country crock and all that kind of stuff like that. Low. The butter looked a little bit better. But then just the regular cheeses looked kind of low and less stocked. But lunch meat, I think that's mostly Lunchables kind of there. Really low on the Lunchables for some reason. Also, they're still having issues with salt. So they have the generic plain salt, but they seem to have issues stocking the generic iodized salt, which if you need your iodized salt, then that's a bit of a problem. Of course, plain salt's better for canning and that kind of stuff. And if you don't need your iodine, you should be okay there too. And of course, there's name brand stuff there, but it's just kind of odd to see that they're having issues with that. Cooking oil, definitely low. Some empty shelves there that shouldn't be, particularly with gallon vegetable oil, all wiped out. Not sure what that's about. The olive oil looked better stocked than over at Aldi, but you know, a couple places here and there that were a little low. Flour, low, but still there. Sugar, a little bit low, but I mean, that's mostly because I was just looking for it. Other than that, you know, you just might have to buy a different size of sugar than what you're hoping for. So that's fairly good. The beef broth and chicken broth, definitely low. And also the generic was just wiped out. So we're definitely having issues with the chicken and beef broth, particularly beef broth. Soups were a little bit low, but then again, everyone's been sick. So with the broth and with the canned soups, that makes sense with everybody being sick these days. Just seems like so many people are out sick. But take a look at that, folks. There is your pasta aisle. The only pasta on the shelf was that rejected whole grain pasta that somebody was like, I don't want whole grain. Whole grain linguine, nope. But all the boxes of pasta just gone. And you can see up at the top there, nothing up at the top, ready to restock. Wiped out completely. A couple little packages here and there that have escaped so far, but they still had like, this was like 5:30 in the afternoon. Not good, friends. Not good on a weekday. So I looked over at the ramen noodles to see if people were kind of switching over to ramen noodles from the regular pasta. And a little bit, yeah, there's a dent in that. But not a panic run just yet. People were raiding the Knorr sides. That makes sense too. They can't get the regular pasta, so they grab some of these Lipton sides. Tomatoes, canned tomatoes, low. Tuna fish, look at that. Tuna fish was picked over like nobody's business there. Name brand looking a little bit better, but the generic stuff just torn apart. Meat looks pretty good. Check out the dust on those boneless chicken. Makes you want to check the Best Buy date there a little bit, doesn't it? They got a Best Buy date for the carton, but how long have those been sitting around? That's a good question. Keystone meats. This is what I was saying. Like the beef is $1 off right now. Normally that's like $9.98, and so that's a pretty good price right there. The ground beef tends to be like right around that price, $8.90 something. But the shredded beef, that's a little more like roast beef. That one is usually $1 more expensive. Right now it's on sale, at least in this area of the country. So if you're looking to get stocked up on beef, get ahead of the beef prices going up. That's a good option right there. Other meats, canned meats, Spam looked at a little bit low. Canned chicken a little bit low, but otherwise things be fairly well stocked. Soy sauce seems to be having issues out there. If you're anything like me, getting some soy sauce on some rice is good, tasty stuff. So I've been realizing recently, like my stockpile of soy sauce is actually really low. Like I have tons and tons of rice stockpiled, but not much soy sauce. And soy sauce lasts a fairly long time, so you can stock up on that. But it's just harder to stock. You get your 20-pound bags of rice, but these little tiny bottles of soy sauce. So lots of different ways to season rice, but soy sauce, you throw rice into a frying pan with a little bit of oil, and then you hit that with some soy sauce, drop an egg or two in there and stir that up and make a nice fried rice. That really hits the spot. If you have access to eggs and you have access to rice, that's going to make a lot of sense for a lot of folks, right? Stuffing a little bit low there, mashed potatoes looking fairly good. Just the canned vegetables in general were really, really hard hit. Canned corn, why we're running low on canned corn is kind of confusing. And then the canned green beans were pretty hard hit there too. And not just the generic, but also the name brands. And that's a lot of empty spaces there. A lot has changed in the last week. Salad dressings, lower than what they normally are. So I'm not sure if they just had some kind of issue here at this store, but seeing that they had issues over at Aldi as well kind of really makes me think that that we may be seeing a little bit of something going down here. Let me know if you guys are seeing something going down at your stores. Are things changing? Because it kind of feels like the wind has shifted a little bit. And are we going to be seeing a whole bunch of people stocking up, or are we going to see just issues out there across the board? Maybe less supplies are coming out. Vinegar, once again, an issue. We haven't seen it this bad for a while, so that's definitely something to take stock of and warning. If you need to stock up for canning purposes, you might want to grab your vinegar. I see one 20-pounder and possibly another 20-pounder in the back there, but lower on rice than what we're used to seeing. Still a whole bunch of pinto beans there, but the 20-pounders of pinto beans, not there. Those are 8-pounders. We've been seeing 20-pounders hanging around for a while, but tea bags, that's a lot of holes. And then coffee creamer, powdered coffee creamer, very low there. Even Maxwell House coffee looked like an issue there. Definitely low on the coffee. Other frozen sections, frozen potatoes. I mean, we haven't seen frozen potato issues for a while, since last year. So this is bad for what we've seen for the last number of months, but definitely nothing like what we saw last year. So I don't know if we're just importing those potatoes from overseas or what. But also I noticed it was interesting, the end caps in the bunkers, the refrigerated bunkers. These have been turkeys and hams for a while, and suddenly they turned to seafood. I don't know if that's meaningful or anything like that, but definitely got my eyes open. This is over at Sam's Club. This whole pallet area that I just took a picture of on the floor, that is usually pallets of fresh produce, and it was just empty. That not good. This was like six o'clock maybe in the evening. No rotisserie chickens, and they didn't have any in the ovens either. So all the ovens over on the left, just behind there, they were all empty. No chickens on the rotisseries there either. They're definitely rationing them a lot more. And then there was just a lot of empty beef sections there. Just a lot of gaps for the meat. They just weren't restocking. All right, friends, that's what I'm seeing here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let us know what you're seeing where you are, and we will try to stay as informed as possible. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out Genesis Gold Group, there's a link on the screen. Or if you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right on the screen as well. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.